me get that part out. Look. Hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you again. How's your day been?
It's been okay. I'm a little anxious to be here.
Well, it's perfectly normal to feel anxious. I hope to be able to ease some of that for you today, but I do want to talk to you about some tough topics.
Okay, I was expecting that.
So, to get right into it, your husband Chester has been diagnosed with dementia, specifically Alzheimer's disease. Unfortunately, what we know about this disease is that his symptoms will get worse as time goes on. I want to discuss this further with you, but I want to give you a moment to process, as this is a lot of hard information to take in.
Yeah. I don't understand. Chester, he seemed fine. He looks fine. How can you be sure that he has this? I just don't get where you're coming up with this from.
Well, my team and I have noticed some word-finding problems in Chester, and we have conducted several tests to show that his memory is in fact declining. You may have noticed this too. Can you think of an instance where he may have forgotten something that you didn't expect him to?
I mean, I have noticed some memory problems in him, but they aren't that bad. The other day, he forgot the name for butter, and yesterday he did forget where we parked the car at the grocery store. I can help him with those things, though. Forgetting is a part of aging.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Forgetting is a part of aging, and those were great examples that you noticed in Chester. However, these little things that he's forgetting now will turn into bigger things as time goes on, because right now he's in the beginning stages of dementia. Chester's memory is not going to age normally, even though it may look like it currently. I want to address your concerns and feelings about this information. Would you like to discuss them with me?
This is hard to take in. I don't know what life with dementia will look like for us. Will I be able to help him? Will he forget who I am? What about his children? They love him so much. I don't want us to be a burden on them. I pictured us continuing to grow old together and dying of old age in 20 years. Oh gosh, what is his life expectancy? How many years do I have left with him?
Those are all great questions, and it sounds like what you're most concerned with is what life will look like for the two of you. The good news is that nothing has to change right now if you both don't want it to. Chester's memory is still pretty good. It is important to know that this will change over time, but that gives you both time to think about your options. There are some exercises the two of you can possibly do to lower the memory loss in Chester, but there is no cure for dementia. There may be a point in time where it may be very challenging to help Chester by yourself, and we can go over those options later. It may be really hard for you to deal with this on your own, and I encourage you to join a support group for spouses with dementia, or possibly even see a counselor regularly. Is that something you'd be open to trying?
Oh, I don't even want to worry about me right now. Chester is the one that's going to be suffering. I want to focus on him.
Yeah, and we are going to spend a lot of time talking about Chester and what's best for him, but we also need to take care of yourself, which will help him too. Do you think you could try one of these options?
Maybe I could go to the support group. It would be good to meet people who are going through similar things and listen to their advice on how to help Chester.
That's a great step. Here's some information about the local support group. As you can see, it's every Wednesday night at the Brew Coffee Shop. If you're feeling up to it, consider maybe going next week. It may change your mind a little bit, and that way you'll have a support group before it gets a little challenging.
Okay, I'm still a little unsure that I need this, but I guess I can give it a shot.
I appreciate you having an open mind about the group. It shows that you care about both yourself and Chester. So, can we plan on you going to the support group before our next appointment, 2 weeks from now? If so, what could prevent you from accomplishing this?
Well, my daughter Taylor sometimes wants me to babysit Wednesday nights, but I think I may just need to tell her that I can't do it on Wednesdays. I think it would be a good idea for me to go to the support group because I want to hear other people's stories.
That's excellent. I'm glad you're motivated to be involved in this. I know I've gone over a lot of information today, and before we continue, I'd like to give a quick recap of all that we've covered. So, Chester has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, which is a branch of dementia. This disease will decrease his memory over time, and unfortunately, as we know, there's no cure. There are options to possibly lessen the symptoms of the disease, which I want to discuss further with you at a later date. And then lastly, we touched on making time for yourself and attending the Spouse of People with Dementia support group, possibly starting next week. How are you doing with all this information?
It's a lot to take in. It's slowly sinking in, but it does still feel surreal. When you say your vows, you don't think about this moment, you know? Like, I knew in the back of my mind it was a possibility, but not to us. It's happening to him, but I feel like it's happening to me. This news is so hard to swallow for me, but he's the one that got the diagnosis. Like, do I go home and make dinner tonight and we just continue on with our lives?
It is completely normal to feel like this is happening to you too. You and your husband are a team, and it's going to affect you just as it affects him. I really don't want you to downplay these feelings because they are real and valid. It's good to recognize them and talk about them like you are. If you and Chester want to go home tonight and have a conversation about it, then it's up to you. You can also wait until another day until you've taken some time to reflect. Whatever